Good evening, everybody. What a fun night this has been already. You have a chance to visit with some faces and some folks I've seen before at some of the meetings up here at the NADC meetings, and it's really good to be back in this beautiful building, so it's a pleasure to be here. When our CEO, Bill Otis, called and informed me that he had received information regarding the 2012 Twin Cities Business Magazine Outstanding Director Award, he suggested we consider nominating Mary Ellen Domeier, a member of our board of directors. I couldn't have agreed more. In our nomination letter, Mr. Otis and I wrote, New Ulm Telecom's success has benefited from the leadership provided by Mary Ellen Domeier, whose background in business is outstanding and well documented. Mary Ellen has a track record of making every business and organization better and stronger with her presence and involvement. Mary Ellen's role as a director for New Ulm Telecom included membership of the corporate governance, nominating, and audit committees. With her great knowledge, expertise, and understanding of the importance of a superior corporate governance structure, she co-created and authored our extensive governance policy. Her leadership was instrumental in moving our level of corporate governance from good to great. Her passion and energy for business is evident at every committee and board meeting as she inspires and motivates others. Mary Ellen has had an undeniably positive impact on the organization and performance of the board of New Ulm Telecom. She's been instrumental in ensuring success with her upbeat, get it done, and let's move forward attitude. Mary Ellen's business background is banking, and what a career she's had. She was the CEO and chair of Friends and Bank and Trust Company in New Ulm from 1997 until 2003, and was the first and so far only woman to hold the position as chair of the Minnesota Bankers Association. Mary Ellen is the past chair of the board of Bank Midwest and is currently serving as a member of their board of directors. She served as a member of the Consumer Advisory Council of the Federal Reserve Bank in Washington, D.C., served on the board of American Art Stone, was appointed to the Governor's Judiciary Commission, and in her retirement, served as executive director for the New Ulm Area Catholic School System. Mary Ellen is a strong supporter of quality education and was presented the Distinguished Alumni Humanitarian Award by Cathedral High School. Mary Ellen, a longtime advocate for promoting women for advancement in the workplace, was the first woman to receive the New Ulm Chamber of Commerce Athena Award. Just another example of her many accomplishments and contributions to our community. As board chair of New Ulm Telecom, I appreciated her presence at our boardroom table. She is positive in her attitude, well organized, and always prepared. She is an excellent writer and communicator, and most of all, a kind, considerate, and fun person to work with. Mary Ellen has shared her gifts and talents so freely in New Ulm and beyond. She is a woman of strong faith, with great love of family, living and leading her life as a role model and an inspiration to everyone she touches. Mary Ellen is truly a remarkable woman. On behalf of our CEO, Bill Otis, our board of directors, our stakeholders, and the entire community of New Ulm, I am proud to present and ask you to welcome 2012 Twin City Business Magazine's Outstanding Director, my friend Mary Ellen Domeier.
Wow. And good evening. In being asked to make a presentation this evening and not quite certain just what the topic should be, several possibilities came to mind. What it meant to me to serve on a board, whether it was corporate or one of many different nonprofit entities. While contributing to a board, the many insights that one gains from serving on that board. The wonderful friendship, the networks that board service provides. The education gleaned, some of which were topics that were discussed earlier this evening by others. Often in business sectors that are far different than my own banking bailiwick. And even of causes important to bolstering one's community. This consideration led me to reflect on leadership in general, but particularly within the context of board service. We are each a composite of many facets, each facet contributing to a whole. an accumulation of where we have been, where we are, and where we anticipate going. The environment of all of those past and present situations. The strength of any team then, to any team that we belong to, whether it's our family, whether it's work, whether it's church, whatever entity that we're involved with, yesterday, today, and those that we anticipate joining tomorrow, none of the strength is drawn from any one individual. It's drawn from the whole. Years ago at one of the many conferences I've attended, I received some material from Mary Jo Polranta, a nationally known motivational business speaker. And one of the things that, and perhaps some of you may have heard this as well, she refers to her lessons from geese. And Bill Otis, that is not a hunting story, so just sit back on your chair. These are just some of the lessons that she shared, and I quote them. A fact: as each goose flaps its wings, it creates an uplift for the birds that follow. By flying in a V formation, the whole flock adds 71% greater flying range than if each bird had flown alone. The lesson: people who share a common direction and a sense of community can get where they are going quicker and easier because they are traveling on the thrust of one another. Well, we see examples of that all around us, in big ways and small. Just last Sunday, as I was working on this speech, everyone was focused on Felix Baumgartner and his successful 24-mile jump this past Sunday. Just an amazing feat. But then the cameras panned over to Control Central, where there were a couple dozen professionals with faces glued to monitors, and suddenly, euphorically, raised their arms and shouted in elation. Clearly an example of geese flying in formation. Another fact she shared: when the lead goose tires, it rotates back into the formation, and another goose flies to the point position. The lesson: it pays to take turns doing the hard task and sharing leadership. As with geese, people are interdependent on each other's skills, capabilities, and unique arrangement of gifts, talents, or resources. Examples of this abound as well, whether it's on athletic teams, in families who rely on different members for certain strengths that they bring to the family. There are also examples on the boards, the governance expert, somebody with some industry experience, someone with a legal background, financial knowledge. All of that goes into the composite of the board and ensures good strategic thinking, whether it's in as small and mundane a task as approving the minutes from the previous minute, or whether it's strategizing something complex like the next merger or acquisition. The corporate boards with which I have had the privilege to be a part of got it. There are no popularity contests in board succession planning, a topic referred to earlier, but rather conscientious assessment efforts that ensure the needs of the company, shareholders, and stakeholders are placed first. That replacement directors are not clones of the outgoing directors. Instead, that we look for people who can strengthen and bolster the board's composition and efficiency. These are people who can fly in formation and, at different times, depending on the challenge or topic at hand, can assume leadership roles, whether on committees, task forces, or dynamic, engaged board discussion. There's a seemingly peripheral element to all of this, and it is integral to the work of board members. That is the role of the primary support people in our lives that enable leaders to lead. Its importance is another of Mary Jo's goose theories, noting that geese flying in formation continue to honk. On cool autumn evenings, many of us have heard that raucous, haunting sound overhead and looked above and seen that V formation of the geese in flight. The sound that they make is actually there to serve as encouragement to all to stay in formation, to work together, and our family members, in a sense, do that for us. I've had the wonderful opportunity and advantage of having my husband of 51 years, Robert, and some of us call him Butch, and my children and their spouses, represented here tonight by my eldest son, Philip, and his wife, Jane, who have encouraged and rooted me on over the years. Each of us is flying in simultaneous V formations on a daily basis, from families to jobs to boards to volunteer work, and a host of other settings. My message in a nutshell is this: being singled out as an outstanding director is a tribute, but not just to me, but rather to all who have been on boards, enabling me to be as successful as others seem to think I am. My fellow board members, any one of whom is standing here this evening as well. It's the management team, it's the family, it's the team spirit of the board that enables that to happen. So tonight, thank you, Nuam Telecom, for nominating me for this honor. Thank you to my family for flying in the Goose formation and rooting me on and upholding me over the years. And thank you, Twin Cities Business and all of the sponsors for shining a spotlight on board service and also for the honor that you have bestowed on me.